Something that looks solid and creamy can begin as liquid vegetable oil, and the transformation happens through surprisingly precise food engineering. Inside a modern production facility, oils, water, emulsifiers, salt, flavors, and carefully controlled temperatures become one consistent product. Margarine is generally an emulsion, with a continuous fat phase containing tiny droplets of water and carefully selected ingredients. The exact formulation controls whether the finished spread is firm, soft, stable, easy to spread, or suitable for a particular cooking application. The story begins with oil-producing crops, whose seeds or fruits contain the fats that will eventually become the main structure of margarine. After harvesting, the seeds are cleaned and transported to oil processing facilities where the valuable fat must be separated from the plant material. At the oil mill, cleaned seeds are prepared and processed so their oil can be separated from solids and collected as a crude vegetable oil. The newly extracted oil is not ready for food formulation yet. It still contains compounds that refining must remove or reduce. Side tracking shot following food-grade tanker during loading, transfer hose connected securely, pump operating, worker checking valves, realistic vehicle and hose movement. Once delivered, the oil is sampled, identified, and transferred into controlled storage tanks before formulation begins. Filtration removes suspended particles and protects the downstream refining equipment from unwanted solids carried with the crude oil. One important refining step is degumming, where water and controlled processing conditions help separate phospholipids and other unwanted components from the oil. Depending on the oil, controlled refining can reduce free fatty acids and other unwanted components before the ingredient enters food formulation. Refiners may then use bleaching earth or related adsorbent materials to reduce pigments and trace impurities from the oil. Deodorization uses controlled heat and vacuum conditions to remove volatile compounds, producing a cleaner-tasting refined oil. After refining, samples are checked for properties such as appearance, acidity, odor, and other specifications before the oil is approved. While the oil is being prepared, the factory creates a separate water phase containing carefully controlled water and water-soluble ingredients. Because water becomes part of the finished food, its quality is controlled just as carefully as the vegetable oils. Salt, approved flavors, colors, vitamins, or other formulation ingredients may be measured separately so their quantities remain consistent from batch to batch. Emulsifiers help oil and water remain dispersed together, creating the stable structure needed for a smooth margarine texture. Different edible oils or prepared fat ingredients can be blended to achieve the melting behavior and texture required for the final product. The key is not simply mixing oils. The formulation must produce a fat phase that crystallizes correctly and melts at the desired temperature. Controlled heating keeps the fat blend in the right physical state so it can be mixed, transported, and later crystallized predictably. Now comes the crucial transformation. The prepared water phase is introduced into the fat phase under carefully controlled mixing conditions. High shear mixing breaks the dispersed phase into very small droplets, helping create the smooth, stable structure expected from margarine.